watching Born Again Motoring, and today you're joining me in my C8 Corvette. Let's go. That's great. Seems I picked up a nail in my tire. As you can see, my driver's rear is at 24. So unexpected, but I guess we're gonna head to the tire shop. Oh, that's great. The joys of having 305 wide tires. This is what happens. But that's good, you know? Hey, God is still good, and if I have to get new tires, then, you know, thankfully I have the means. So let's head on out. I have a discount tire near the house, so not an issue. I've been rocking with the simplified gauge display. I think it's cool. It cleans it up. It kind of reminds me of riding a motorcycle, but because I need to keep a close watch on my tire pressure, I'm not gonna rock with that. Switch it back. Few updates. The C8 received some scratches on the side of the body. I don't know where they came from, so I had to basically buff them out. Shout out to my buddies Brian and Jawad. For coming over to try to help me with that. Ultimately, we needed our professional body guy, Shepard, to come through.
I'm gonna try to melt it, because it clear ain't nothing but liquid. And for some reason, how they designed it, the hotter it gets, it moves. It's weird how it works. It can be, you can call it clear to dry on this car, but it'll still move. I don't know how they designed it like this.
And basically, what he did is he wet sanded it with 2000 grit, and it came out. So yeah, here's the after. And it looks good. I think someplace wherever I had the car parked, because the engine's in the back, some kids or some teens, I don't know, somebody, I don't know which demographic, it doesn't have to be a specific, but they were trying to look at the engine and they were wearing a belt and scratched up the side. So I had to pay the price, but again, it's, hey, these things happen, and again, I'm grateful that I have the means to take care of it. That's the problem when you drive a car that gets attention. It's going to get attention. So, in other news, the pole that I'm running for the steering wheel on the C8, it seems that people want to see me do a new steering wheel, so I'm going to do that. I talked about it in the last Type R video that I did, thanking my subs. Actually, no, I did that in my, I don't know, maybe it was the CX90 video. I can't remember which one. Uh-oh, there's some debris in the road here. Get over here. There's always something in the road in Texas. Yeah, so anyway, I ran the poll to see the votes. People want to see a different wheel because of this wheel design is not the best. So yeah, I'm gonna do something different with the wheel. I'm gonna get rid of the Squircle. I'm gonna have a custom wheel built. So maybe next C8 video you see will be that wheel, which will be fun. The Squircle honestly doesn't bother me. For whatever reason, I kind of like that it's different, but I also like to do things that are different. I'm gonna take a risk. My only concern is whatever I do, if I come away from this traditional style, that I'm gonna block some of this, but I can change the positioning. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna do it so you can consider doing it, you other C8 owners. Some more good news is I'm registered for my first track day in the Type R. It's an HPDE event at the new G2 Raceway, G2 Motorsports Park in the northern DFW area. It's Anna, but it's Westminster. So I'll be taking the Type R out there. It's my first time on the track. I found out that there's an Assetto Corsa layout that G2 offers, so I'm going to download that and practice. I'll let you know how that translates versus the real thing. But yeah, I'm all registered. October 18th will be the date. Looking forward to it. I'm going to get my brake fluid changed on the Type R, but other than that, I'm going to leave it stock so I have a good baseline as to how the car performs. I'll probably do the pedal dance so that I don't burn out my rear brakes. I don't really care about the vectoring. I know it assists in the handling, but I know that the Type R handles phenomenally anyway. So more to come. But if you're in the area, you should sign up on October 18th. They seem to do one every month. Okay, I'm gonna go. They do one every month there, and if you're not a member, those are the days you have to look forward to. It'd be cool to join you. This time around, I'm gonna take the Type R, as I said. Next time, I'll probably do the C8. I need to do the track alignment on the C8. If you have a C8 and you get an alignment done, make sure that you, if you do the track alignment, that you keep the caster at 0. If you do that, that's the spec actually, but if you do that, it'll be one of the best handling cars you can drive. If you mess it up though, it'll be the exact opposite. The car will not handle the way you anticipate. Right, slow crawl. One thing I've been thinking a lot about is my first Corvette was a C7. It was I bought it in 2016, brand new from the dealership. It was a white, it was a 1LT, but it was loaded. I had Magnaride suspension. It was almost like a Z51, but it wasn't a Z51. I'll have to look at the spec sheets, but it was decent for what it was. And at the time, there was definitely nothing like it on the road, and that's what started my joy and passion of Corvettes, being a JDM head. That was before that. I had 2015 STI, and I had a BRZ as a daily while I was building my STI. And some questions I get now are, is the C7 worth it versus the C8 chassis? They're completely different. Completely different. The C7 right now, you can find them, I'll throw some up on the screen, but you can find them high mileage examples, which is a good sign that the fact that there are multiple hundreds of thousands of miles ones out there on the market, you can find them in the mid to low 30s. And that 6.2 liter V8, the LT1 with a manual transmission, is a very, very capable and fast package for the price point. You're talking about way more car than the Civic Type R for way less money. Basically, the price for performance is better than anything out there if you get one in the 30s. And if you just focus on, I'm not talking about straight line track, which you can obviously make it fast there too, but if you set it up for track racing, technical track racing, you can really extract a lot of it. In most cases, for most people, that's going to be more car than driver, and you can just focus on handling dynamics. You can do coils, you can do suspension, you can do aero, and really make a competent performance vehicle for a little money. Whereas a C8, you know, if you want one to base, you'll find them for 55 with higher mileage. Not a Z51, maybe if you're lucky. But the big value is, you're curious, it doesn't matter if you're a fan of JDM, German. If you bought a C7, you're talking about a real performance car for little money. That's how the Corvette has always been, and that's why I stand behind them. And they're not as refined as Porsches and some of the German cars, but they punch above their weight class. So I recommend, if you're curious, you should definitely consider, because they are rather reliable, and consumables, like mainly your tires and your brakes, yeah, they'll be a little expensive, but oil changes aren't as expensive. If you get one with a dry sump system, you're probably going to spend about $200 on an oil change, but that still beats the $1,500 for when you go in for Porsche maintenance, which I love Porsche. Don't get me wrong. I'm speaking the reality of the difference in the cars. You get a lot of car for the money with reliability, and you can beat it up repeatedly. Now the C7 Z06, which I had after my C7, obviously that's a capable performer, but those things overheat. There's so much power, they never really nailed the cooling issues, so be aware of that. They're reliable, but you start pushing them for a long time, especially in the heat, they will overheat on you. It's well known. But a base C7, beat on it all day, especially if you can get a Z51. It has the additional cooling. Something to consider. Hey, the good news is on my tire pressure, it's going up as I get heat in the tires, which means it's holding relatively well, but yeah, there's still a leakage. That's too far of a variant than the other tires. I just hope I don't have to buy new tires. I wanted to get some more life out of these. This time is at 7:51. Discount tire opens at 8. I'm hoping to get there early. I have to work today. All right. Even with the tires in the way they are, I need to get on it a little bit. Sorry, it never gets old. Only thing that this is missing is manual. This car was manual. Oh, that would be great. My both of my C7s were manual, and that's where also the C7 shines, is that you have the last manual front engine Corvette. What I would do if I were to buy a C7, again, I wouldn't focus on power so much, but I would like it to rev a little bit higher. I would like to keep it all motor. I would do aero. I would do suspension all around, and just have fun with it. Just ring it out. One thing I noticed is a lot of S2000 drivers end up in Corvettes, and Corvette drivers a lot of times appreciate the S2000. And having owned an S2000 previously, I can attest to that, and I understand kind of why they are built from the ground up as driver's cars. The Corvette is. I know that a lot of, we're going to call them distinguished gentlemen, buy Corvettes because that's the class that can typically afford them. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. just because certain demographics buy a vehicle, because again, they can afford them brand new in most cases, shouldn't take away from the fact that it is a bona fide driver's car, and it is America's sports car. And it has the longest, I think, legacy of any car, like continuously as far as being built. The Corvette name and brand is strong, and Chevy does a lot to keep it that way, constantly improving it, constantly iterating it, just like Porsche does with the 911. Yeah, again, it's not as refined, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad car. It doesn't mean that it doesn't drive well. There's always a bigger fish. There's always something better. But is more expensive better to you? Do you have that money? I don't know. It's a question you have to ask and answer yourself. You can get a lot of the same amount of fun for a lot less money. It said exit only, but it's autocross. So, hey, there's a C5 here with new tires. All right, see you folks in a little bit. We got a AP1 with the hardtop. I don't know if that's an OE hardtop. I'm not going to get too close, but yeah, they brought the cars out here today. Very nice. And we're back in the C8. They were able to repair it. Look at this beautiful 8.6 right there. It looks like it has exhaust, some wheels maybe. I don't know. Nice. Shout out to you, because I love 8.6s. They got it repaired, but I do need new tires. It's time, so I ordered a new set. I didn't do, I was thinking about doing a 200 tread count, but due to shipping and everything for the ones that I wanted, it would have taken too much time, so I'm just gonna go back to Pilot 4S's. Save some money for doing the 4S's, and they'll last a little bit longer, so that's all good. That's what I'm gonna do. Redemption Media, I'm gonna check him out, give him a shout out on the good old IG, see what this guy's about. But yeah, this year is a year of tires. I just had to replace the tires on the CX-90 in less than just a little over a year of ownership of that. Total cost of these 4S's is about $1,800. So yeah, expensive, almost $4,000 in tire costs, but it's necessary. And new tires are wonderful. It just makes the car feel refreshed. So looking forward to that. I think that will sum up this video as I drive through this plaza and my C8. I will see you all in the next video, which was likely my Type R. God bless you and your families. I am out.